Well, I had nothing better to do, so I watched another episode of Stargirl. So I guess the whole season is going to be called Summer School, even though she never actually goes to summer school. So Summer School Part 3, but oh wait, the metaphor is she's in summer school for superheroism. Yeah, I guess. Actually, it's just sort of a little magical mystery tour of other characters, to where it's just a vehicle for the guest stars to take center stage. And so Jade, of course, was the first one they introduced, and then she quickly disappears. So I don't know if these, and with her they set it up to where her brother's missing, and that's Obsidian. So, and I thought it might have some connection to do with Shade. I don't know if they would reveal that Obsidian is not Alan Scott's son, and their mother fooled around with Shade. Probably not. But they do like soap opera type storylines. So, this episode introduced the Thunderbolt, we'll say, which was Johnny Thunder had this basically a genie, if you will, and with the magic words "say you." It wasn't spelled like "say you," but that's the magic word that he had that would call upon this magic Thunderbolt, who basically was a genie. Could do anything, but he had to make a wish and all that sort of stuff. Well, of course, Johnny Thunder's dead now. They wiped out the original Justice Society. And you get a brief scene that Johnny Thunder with a very bad wig talking to Stripesy, or Dugan, if you will, and right before everything goes to hell. And so the legacy gets passed down. So in this version, he has this magic pen which contains the entity. And so that was around, and now they're dealing with it. And so it's going to be passed down. But to who? Well, it gets passed down to Courtney's brother. So he's having a tough time of it. All the attention is on his sister, which could have been a plot where he goes down a dark path, or, the villains say, look, they've rejected you and all that, but we won't, and all this sort of stuff. And he gets a chance for power. And could become a villain. The story's right there. But instead, he comes upon the pen, and now the magic word is "so cool." So I don't know. I didn't keep up with the Justice Society series that they had for a while, which delved into a lot of this stuff. And maybe the term, the magic words, was changed, or was it for legal reasons, or is it just changed for the different person? I don't know. I do know they did have a legacy character. They handed it off to a young black child, and I thought, oh boy, this is strange. They're not going to do that. They're going to let this white kid have it. No, but it would have been interesting and a cool element. And of course, the Thunderbolt, it looks like it would have been expensive to keep him going, and all that with the effects they did, which was pretty good, And so it gets into mischief, and could have been a sort of a PG-rated Deadpool character, because he's wild and crazy, and all kind of humorous stuff can ensue. But ultimately, Max tries to use him up against the Shade, and it goes very wrong, and he decides to wish it away to someone more worthy. And so that's it. He lost. He didn't mean to do it, actually. He just said, I wish it was with... Too late. So then we find the kid, and I forget the kid's name. I didn't keep up with the Justice Society series. And there he is, and he's a lonely, put upon, nerdy kid, and all that sort of stuff. So the pen is now his, and the Thunderbolt will be obeying him. So whether or not they'll revisit him and introduce him, are they thinking of doing a Justice Society series? Considering the money that it would take to do that, and you look at Titans. Yeah, I saw the latest episode. Jeez. they should have just done a Nightwing series. They can't afford to do Starfire properly, and because the superpowers are expensive. A Nightwing series would have been for the better. So anyway, but back to Stargirl. So it still has good elements to it. It doesn't, there's not a lot of wokeism here, unless you're going to be upset about Max doesn't keep the Thunderbolt. But whatever they're doing with Max, I don't know if he's just always going to be a comic relief character. Which the kid playing him, I wonder if he's one of these guys who's actually in his 30s, but he just looks young. Because he sounds like a character from the 30s and 40s, and he just doesn't come. He looks very young, but he sounds really old. But anyway, but a lot of the show keeps acting like the personality wise is all set in the 50s or something. I mean, because they'll even play old songs and stuff. They do play modern songs and stuff, but I don't know. It's just that kind of take to it, and I guess the town is supposed to be that way. And then, of course, Stripes, he's a car guy, so it stands to reason he would like all these cars, but it's always old cars and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just a sort of, the spirit of the show that they're trying to do. And, they keep it wholesome and stuff like that. Which, this would be a show that, if I had kids, I'd be fine with them watching it, and so there's, that element of it. But some of it is like, where are they going? Do they have a point to it? And they did last season, so I'm hoping they're not going to go all over the place and fizzle like Titans does with things that could have had potential. So far, so good, really, because Jade is really showing himself to be quite, the ominous force. But the real threat is Eclipso, and they don't quite fully understand that, and he's trying to get Eclipso, and it might even suggest that he's abandoned his villainous ways. He's not interested in taking over the world, that he wants the diamond, but is he wanting to destroy it? But he probably thinks he can control it. I don't know. But it's a good episode and everything. And this is how else do you do to introduce these other characters? Is it just a nod to it and an appreciation or respect for Justice Society, and that's it, or will these characters return? And would they do a Justice Society series? Considering they're about to introduce a Justice Society in the cinematic universe with Black Adam, because the Justice Society will be in it. I don't know. I mean, they've already wiped out the original Justice Society, and so I guess it would just be these kids. So it would be that version of it. But I just don't know if Jade returns and they follow up on that story. But there again, Jade would be an expensive character to do right and well. But it's one of these things like they got these great superpowers, but sometimes they don't use them and they just use martial arts. No. It's okay for Wildcat to do that, maybe even Our Man, but not all of it. But it's still an expensive show because Stargirl's there, and then her staff is an expensive special effect thing you got to do and all that stuff. So I don't know, but production wise, it's still very strong and good. Similar to Superman, but Superman and Lois is the superior show. There's a lot of silliness that I don't think completely disrupts the show, but for me it does. And again, back to the songs. God, am I sick of montage scenes and songs, and it just grates on me. But that's me. I don't know that that's something that is to the detriment of the show overall. So far so good. And it was cool to see Thunderbolt and the nods to it. I wish they would have done better with the Johnny Thunder character and give him a better wig or something. They can do a good Thunderbolt, they just can't seem to do wigs well. And it was cool to see Ted Grant as Wildcat, even though it was supposed to be a serious moment, but I don't know. Maybe they should have had darker lighting or something. He looked kind of silly. But I appreciate the nods to the original team, and all that. So, but it's supposed to be Stargirl's show, so it's an interesting little tour. But hopefully it gets back to just being her show. But there again, it's become the Justice Society show already because of her friends and everything, and she's all into it and wants that to continue. But anyway, it was a good show for what it was, and so I can't say that they've slipped up too terribly so far. So yeah, so far so good, I guess. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.